here at the Academy of Dance in Monte Carlo to interview the director, Luca Masala. Luca, it's an absolute pleasure to speak to you today. You're the director of this academy, but let's wind the clock back a bit to when you became a ballet dancer. How did you start in the profession?
Well, I started because of my sister. My sister, when I was a little kid, she's 2 years older than me. She, of course, like every young girls, she loved ballet, so she went to this private school in Sardinia, where I come from, Italy. Then she moved to a bigger school, and I used to go and pick her up with my mother. And one day, while I was waiting for her, I just opened the door, and there was a class of character dance, boys' character dance, and it was fascinating. And then I asked my mother if I could be also part of the school, and that's how I started, just like this.
And are you still dancing today? And do you find that you miss the performance as well if you're not dancing?
Well, I'm not dancing now. I'm not dancing today. Definitely, I have no time to dance. But I stopped anyway 5 years ago. I was a ballet master in the Teatro di Capitolo in Toulouse before I came in Monte Carlo. No, well, I mean, when you dance, of course, it's a passion. It's a way of expressing yourself, and it's something that you have to recuperate in another form. I did it when I became a ballet master in helping people, and I'm doing it today as a director as well. Into helping people, I find the same pleasure that I used to find when I was on stage and telling a story, showing myself. The same pleasure I have today in looking at kids and tell them how to become more mature to become a dancer.
So you're able to transfer those pleasures, those emotions,
yes,
through your students, really.
Yes.
And there are so many young people who want to go into this world of dance. What advice would you give them, Luca?
Well, being a ballet dancer, it's very hard. People can have a dream. People, I met a lot of people that have a big dream. I want to become a dancer because they only see the pink side of dancing.
Yes.
Being on stage with ponchos and doing
all the costumes
and doing roles like Romeo and Juliet. Well, behind that, it's a lot of work. It's really, really a lot of work. So it has to be. I say, when I look today at people that I want to take in my academy, one of the first things I see is if dancing is a necessity for them to live. If that's the case, then I think they can make it.
I think, like you said, it's something that you have to want to do. It's a vocation, that's something
Yes.
that's very evident. But how do you keep the students motivated and determined?
The kids, they live here. We have dorms. And so it's not like they just come here and they do ballet and they leave. They're living here, so I have time to talk to them. And so, doing that, I can really make them understand what it takes to become a dancer. That's it's what is very important in our profession, and I think in many other professions, is that in life you will be thrown on the floor many times, and the people who will make it are the people that will stand up and be ready always to continue. And there are some people that, after the 10th time that they fall on the floor, they will just give up. And so I try to tell them every day this, that it has to be so, the passion has to be so big that if they find a closed door in front of them, they will just continue until the door will open.
I suppose in that case, like we said, there is no gain without pain in this sense, really, because you have to keep going.
Of course, definitely. And I had a situation where I had to dance with a broken foot. I had to finish the performance, where many dancers, they were very injured. And in this moment, you remember all your past, what you did, and how much you suffered, how much you gave to be there. And that's where you don't give up anymore. That's where you continue. So of course, yes, it's a lot of work. It's waking up in the morning very early. It's working 8 hours a day with your body. It's becoming an adult at the age of 11 years old. It's knowing that this is going to be your job when you're 11 years old.
Besides
Whoever does that, it's very young.
If we look at theatre, life skills, they help your role, your personality, your character you portray. Now in dance, how do you get that expression across, especially when they are children?
Yes.
And they haven't got those life skills, so how do you get them to emanate this experience of life?
It's to be an artist, I believe, in a dance world, when somebody is very artistically in what he does, is that he tries to find the feelings that he has already himself, that he already experienced in certain situations, and translate them through their movement. What I mean is that, for example, if I'm making a ballet where I'm teaching a ballet to the kids where they have to be in love. You know? Let's say we do the parody of Romeo and Juliet. You know, Romeo and Juliet, it's a parody of Juliet. She was 15 years old, if I'm not wrong, in the history. You know, they can just go into their own body and you know, at the age of 16, 17 years old, you know, they already know what is the feeling of love. Maybe they've never experienced it. But you know, so what we teach them is to go inside themselves, find these feelings, and try to put them out into movement.
Now, Luca, you've been the director here since 2009.
Yes.
In that short time already. What have the highlights been, and what are your plans for the future? Okay,
well, the first thing I did when I arrived here is to look, because I mean they called me at the last second to become a director, so I was not ready at all. So what I did, I looked a lot of how the school was functioning before me. So I didn't change anything. The people were the same, the students were the same. And during this year, I could think about, okay, what are going to be the students for next year? What are going to be the teacher for next year? So it was a lot of analyzing the whole situation. So now I'm just talking about, of course, the rebuilding of the situation, which is for me a big achievement, because you can imagine to construct new studios already. It's something that doesn't happen very often. And then, of course, all the way of teaching, the new teachers, the new disciplines, new new strategy, how to talk to the kids, and how to make them more mature and more ready to this world. So, and finding a lot of new students from everywhere in the world. I would like really that this school becomes very international. We have from Israel, from America, from China, from Japan, from Italy, from France. You know, I really like that. So
there's a big mixture of culture to come
yes,
here
yes.
then.
So that's my goal. That's what I'm doing a lot. I'm traveling a lot to pick up this kind of people, and hoping one day the school will be more known, and the people will come here by themselves. But at this day, it's me who make the suitcase and go and try to find those kids.
So Luca, in the world of dance, what is your big dream?
I feel that in these days, when I see kids going out of schools and becoming dancers, I feel that there is not enough respect anymore for this art. And so my job today as a director is to be able to give them this passion, this tradition that we had when we were young. Of course, when I was young, there was much less information, so we were just focusing on what we had in front of us. And my goal, yes, today is, if there is one thing that I could do, that I could have done as an artist, apart of the fact that having given some hours of pleasure while I was dancing to the public that used to come and see me, but now as a director, is to bring back a little bit of tradition into the mentality of the kids, and the respect of what they are doing, the respect for themselves, the respect for their colleagues, and the respect especially for ballet.
Luca Masala, thank you so much for speaking today.
Thank you.
Thank you.